in your experience doing this on a daily basis, what do you think is the current state of mental health as a result of the unique kind of brand of urban trauma that the African American community deals with every day in terms of its environmental context? What do you think is therefore the current state of mental health in the black community?
Well, that's a interesting and complex question because I'm very, very convinced that black people experience more trauma from violence than probably anybody else other than maybe Native Americans. Because black people catch hell in terms of their issues around violence exposure. I started that stuff in '82. So that's real clear. What's interesting to me, though, as I read the national surveys on mental health and trauma outcomes, is that there is some suggestion that black people actually have better mental health outcomes than white people. When they go do large community surveys, black people come out better. Now, that has always puzzled me because, again, it's clear black people have more trauma. But how could you have more trauma and have better mental health outcomes? Doesn't make sense. What it turns out is that I think black people in many ways have more protective factors protecting them from trauma. I used to think that if you were from a single-headed household, your mom was on drugs, you were doing poorly in school, your mom was using crack, and you were using crack, your daddy was in prison, your mama was drinking, you got abused sexually, all the risk factors that everybody can name, you were runt, as we say in Chicago, you just runt. That's not true. That is not true. Now, it's counterintuitive that that's not true. Because you would think, mom on drugs, daddy in prison, school violence, been exposed to violence, you messed up. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Here's the thing that we learned from Satcher's Youth Violence Report and the Institute of Medicine's report on suicide. Risk factors are not predictive factors because of protective factors. Risk factors are not predictive factors because of protective factors. Okay. Poor black people, my experiences have a lot of social fabric around them. They know neighbors, they talk to people, they're connected to people in their community because that's all they got. So they got social fabric. But again, we're so busy demonizing and criminalizing and castigating, especially young black men, that we don't see their potential and we don't see their creativity, their humor, their spirituality, their energy for action. And we view it all as negative, so we don't give them a chance.